Now that we've added the door to our model, let's go ahead and add a couple of windows to make the front of the building a little more complete. If you're continuing from the previous lesson, you don't have to do anything. But if you're starting from here, click the Application button, select Open, navigate to the Chapter 3 subdirectory, and open the file Chapter 3 AECconstruct03.max. We need to make sure that we have 2D Snap turned on. If it's not turned on, use the shortcut key S. This will toggle Snap Mode on and off. You can tell Snap Mode is turned on because the Snap Toggle button in the main toolbar is depressed. In the Command panel, click on the Create tab. Make sure the Geometry option is selected. Then in the Geometry drop-down, choose Windows. We're going to use a sliding window to install traditional sliding windows into the front of the building. In the Object Type rollout, click the Sliding button. In the viewport, click at the front of the building to the left of the door and drag the cursor about 3 feet, then release the mouse button. Drag the mouse up just a little bit. This will give us the depth of the window, which we will adjust later. Click once to specify the depth. Then drag the mouse up to set the height of the window. And lastly, click once to set the height. With the completed window selected, switch over to the Modify panel by clicking on the Modify tab in the Command panel. In the Windows Parameters rollout, change the height of the window by entering a value of 4 feet into the height parameter and pressing Enter. Make sure the width is set to 3 feet. If it isn't, enter 3 feet into the width value and press Enter. Set the depth value to 6 inches and press Enter. As with doors, there are parameters that allow us to adjust the size of the frame, set the thickness of the glass, change the number of rails and panels in our window, and specify whether or not the glass is chamfered. The Open Window area allows us to specify whether the window is a hung window or a vertical window. By checking the Hung checkbox, we can set the window to open horizontally instead of vertically. Let's open the window a little bit. Set the open percentage to a value of 50% by typing 50 and then press Enter. This will open the window. Now that we have our window in the wall, we need to orient it properly and move it into the right position. In the main toolbar, click on the Select and Rotate tool, or you can press E on the keyboard to activate it. In the Transform Type-In, located in the status bar, change the Z value to -90 and press Enter. This will rotate the window so it's properly oriented. Now let's go ahead and move the window into the location we want. In the main toolbar, click on the Select and Move tool, or you can press W on the keyboard to activate it. In the Transform Value box, we'll change the X value to 89 feet 10.125 inches and press Enter. This will move the window so that it's flush with the front of the wall. For the Y transform, enter the value of -166 feet and press Enter. And lastly, for Z, enter the value of 3 feet and press Enter. This sets the location for our first window. Also notice that 3ds Max has already cut a hole in the wall to accommodate the new placement of the window. Before we make a copy of the window, you will need to turn off the Grid Snap option. Otherwise, it will cause objects to snap to the grid, which is not what we want to have happen. Now we're going to make a copy of this window in a new location on the wall. With the Move tool active and the Shift key held down, put your cursor over the Y-axis on the Transform gizmo. Then click and drag to the right in order to make a clone of the window. In the Clone Options dialog, under Objects, click Copy. Set the number of copies to 2 by clicking the up arrow on the spinner. Click OK to make the copies and close the dialog box. Now we have 3 copies of the window. However, we still need to move the third because it's right in the middle of the doorway. With the third window selected, put your cursor over the Y-axis on the transform gizmo and click and drag to the right to place the window in the open section of the wall. Notice again that the wall automatically has a cutout added to accommodate the new copy of the window. We just added 3 new windows into the front wall of the building, and using the AEC wall object, we're able to place the windows and have the wall automatically create an opening wherever we place those windows. Let's save this file incrementally. Click on the Application button, then click Save As. In the Save File As dialog, click on the Increment on Save button to save the file with an incremental file name. If you're asked to overwrite a file, go ahead and overwrite it.